up, everybody? It's your boy Paris, aka Hakeem, GGL, Gangsta Gone Legit. And today, I want to welcome everybody to the first segment of Real Spit from a Gangsta Gone Legit. Today, I have to say that I'm honored to be sitting next to one of the icons as far as the street game goes. He's a living legend, and his name has rung bells for years. I remember when I first came into the prison system, I was told about this man and his work, and you know, he had a lot of respect in the system. And what I like most about some of the things I've heard was just that he was an upstanding type of guy. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you guys to Jonathan Kirkland, aka Ice.
Respect and love to everybody that's listening to Gangsta Legit. What's that video we get ready to do right now?
Gangsta Gone Legit, or Real Spit from a Gangsta Gone Legit.
Okay.
So it's just
real
talk.
From Gangsta Gone Legit.
Yeah.
All right, you got to get me right sometime. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
that's all good.
Okay.
That's all good. So your name is Jonathan Kirkland,
yes,
and
sir.
that's today that name's ringing bells even out here in the real world. And we're gonna get into that. But first, I want you to take us back to Ice. I want them to know about Ice. How did you get the nickname Ice?
That was my prison name when I got locked up. I was the first person that was young. They got locked up in Massachusetts State Prison where they wouldn't send me to the juvenile. So as time going, I was young. I weighed like 147 pounds. So I had to protect myself. So I always had ice picks. So that was my, choice of keeping myself alive in prison.
Okay. So the infamous ice pick, huh?
Yes,
okay,
sir.
that's the weapon of choice, definitely. So now I don't know if these are rumors, but if they are, you can clear it up right now. Let me know and let the people know. I heard that you were so notorious that the worst prison in Massachusetts, which is Walpole State Prison, they couldn't even hold you, brother. They couldn't confine you. You were too dangerous for that spot. They did something, from what I'm told, they did something that they've never done before, and they shipped you out to the federal system, the federal penitentiary. Is that true?
Yeah, that's half of the story is true, half of it not, because this is a catch-22, you know what I mean? It's like, my thing is, I never had problems with none of the prisons, inmates, convicts, whatever term that you want to use, right? Mm-hmm. So I always brought all them together. Even the people that was rats, I brought them together so everything came in harmony. So I kept everybody together where it wasn't no problem. So anytime someone got into any problems, I always had problems with the police. I fought the police. I never fought inmates, convicts, or prisoners. So while you doing that right there, you a threat to society in prison.
Right.
So that's what created that. So they was nervous of me because I always got everybody together.
Oh, okay. So you were a natural leader.
Yes, sir.
And that's funny because as we talk today, you still have those same skills. That's just, I see how you put together everything that you put together. You brought a bunch of different people together in the movement that you're doing right now with this liquor. We're going to get more into it in a little while, but with your liquor, you have quite a few different people from different hoods and different backgrounds, and they
all of them are leaders also, to add that in the picture.
Right, and all leaders.
You part of me also.
Yeah, I didn't want them to know that yet, but it's cool.
Well, life is what it's all about.
That's what it is. That's right. So yeah, and I'm glad to be a part of it, because what I like is that you bring that sense of family back. And we've talked, man, this week alone, and the conversations that we had, I think I told you this earlier. I said, man, that's what I've been missing, that sense of family, that sense of belonging, to something that's real.
Yes, sir.
And you stand for that. And I admire it. So
it's
that's
a we thing, though.
It is, okay. And I
got
get
to work together for all of us to be family.
That's
I got some of my little men on the sideline right now. They out the picture, but we all family.
That's what's up, and I respect that. So let me ask you this: for the younger guys out there right now who are in the streets or in the prison system, if you can give them a one word of advice, what would you tell them right now?
Don't believe the hype in the streets, because the streets don't care about nothing, don't care about no one, and does nothing for no one.
Right.
I know that's more than one word, but I just had to.
No, that's fine, man. Listen, you got the microphone, man. You say what you got to say, because we want to hear from Ice. Mm-hmm. So let's go back a little bit here. So tell me, how long was you locked up? How much time did you do?
About 27 years straight in all high securities. I've never been to a low security in my life.
So you were the maximum federal security?
Yeah, my whole bit.
The whole 27 years. Wow. Wow. Okay. So yeah,
I should say until we was winding down to come home, because you have to wind down. You can't stay the same all the way. So
right.
I wanted to wind it down. They had me like it was a level 3, something like that. But the highest is 5.
So just so they understand that right now we're talking to, this is again for people who may have just tuned in. This is the first segment of Real Spit from a Gangsta Gone Legit. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to talk to brothers like Ice here from different cities, different backgrounds, and let them tell their stories. It's nothing scripted or nothing like that, you know, right from the heart. And Real Spit just means keeping it real. So on that note, I want to ask you, you did 27 years in prison. Who were some of the people that gave you the game?
Okay, the people that taught me how to grow, because at one period of time, when you first get locked up and you wild, you just a wild seed, you know what I mean? But as you grow, if you're around the right people, they're going to teach you the right things. Right. So for instance, I had one gentleman out of Boston. I had told you his name earlier. Do you remember his name? Because I forgot his I be forgetting his name.
And would this be Palmer's uncle?
Yes, Palmer Woodbury's uncle. Alvin Campbell. That's
there
the name
Alvin
remember
Campbell.
now. So Mr. Alvin Campbell, he was one of the first black gangsters. You know what I mean? Speaking of gangsters, dealing with your company, that's what I liked about dealing with you about, right? Because Gangsta Gone Legit, the true word of gangster came from the Dutch. Okay. And the Dutch used that word as a man freedom. That's what that means. So that means true freedom. That's what that means as a gangster. Because a gangster understands how to do things in life to be free. You know what I mean? So you got to understand what freedom. So that's what made me like to deal with you from the get-go.
Okay, so Gangsta Gone Legit derives from the Dutch word you're saying, right?
Gangster, yes.
A gangster, and it means
free man.
Free man.
Yes.
That's powerful,
That's
and I get that, and I can. That coincides with what I've already said. So a lot of times people have said. They may like the brand, they might like the clothes, but they're like, yeah, but I'm not gangster. And I'm like, no, that's not true. If you're a boss of your life, exactly. I'm like, if you're a boss of your life and you're in control of what you're doing, then you're a gangster. If you're a gangster's not shoot 'em up, bang bang.
No.
See what they don't understand.
That's when the English took the word over. English was using that word as that way of life.
Right.
So that's why you got that. But the original true meaning of that word came from the Dutch.
Right. And so just so everyone out there is clear, Gangsta Gone Legit is not representing shoot 'em up, bang bang, you know, that lifestyle. We don't glorify anything like that. We're representing change, and that's why, you know, I wear my product every day proudly, because I know I'm a product of change, you know. And as the brother here, Ice, is, I mean, he's come a long way. And well, you know what? We're not going to focus right now on myself. I'll talk a little bit more in a segment. But I want to get back to the brother Ice here. And so you said, okay, so the first gangster gave you the game in the beginning. Alvin Campbell.
But the only reason why I said the Gangsta Legit thing is it's going to end with why I'm using that word gangster.
How we connected.
Right.
Exactly. I got
what that really means to how I live my life now.
Okay.
That's what that's all about.
Okay.
As a free man.
As a free man. I like that. Man, so you know we have to use that from this day forward, because that's what it means, and it's the truth.
Yes, sir.
And that's what Real Spit from a Gangsta Gone Legit is about, telling the truth.
So Mr. Alvin taught me, I didn't mean to cut you off, but Mr.
Right.
Alvin taught me everything I know when I first got into the federal system, because I was in the state prison first. So as I was in the state prison, like I said, they was moving me around because I was bringing everybody together.
And they didn't want to see that.
Right. The system is not made for people to be together. It's made to be apart. That's how they make their money.
Gotcha.
You know, it's about an economic thing. That's what prison is about. Nothing else. So if you keep them fighting, you get more money from the government and the state and the federal, you know, facilities to make the prison more and everybody get paid more.
To keep the separation.
Yes, sir. That's how you get your money.
Gotcha.
So as we went on, when I went to the feds, I got with Mr. Alvin Campbell. But as time went on, like I said, I was the young ones in the prison, so everybody was trying to make me grow. You know what I mean? So as they was growing, I got hooked up with another gentleman. I don't know if y'all know Bumpy Johnson. Bumpy Johnson's
isn't he out of Harlem?
Yes, he's out of Harlem.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry about it, because I'm trying to give you different
That's
statements.
all right.
So his co-defendant one got me my first job in Leavenworth Prison. Give me 1 second, please.
Absolutely. All right. So Bumpy Johnson, that was running Harlem, you were affiliated with one of his family members
It's
in Leavenworth?
No, it's his co-defendant.
Oh, it's co-defendant.
Yes.
Oh, okay. And so his co-defendant got you a job in Leavenworth.
Right, in the prison, right, in the federal
Okay, so
prison.
you guys build a
Right,
relationship?
Right, that's how we got our first prison.
Okay.
So as we was in the prison, one of the police as we of Leavenworth had called me a nigga. So then he was trying to disrespect me. So we got into a little incident. They sent me to. I was the first one they got into a fight with the police where we got into some serious, confrontation in the feds. Okay. So then from there they sent me to Marion, Illinois.
Marion.
That's their
high security. Right?
Yeah, that's their high security prison in the United States. Right now, they got a new one named Colorado.
Yeah.
But at the period of time, Marion was the number one when I was doing time.
Okay.
So then from there, I was in there with a gentleman called Jeff Ford.
Jeff Ford. That name sounds familiar.
Yes, he's out of Chicago.
Okay.
He was the head of the Blackstone Rangers. That's when you talk about the Fort Laws and all those different Chicago gangs. That's where they got their knowledge from them. They taught them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So then from there, I got hooked up with Nicky Scoffer. Nicky Scoffer is out of Philadelphia. He's an Italian gentleman.
Yes.
And he was running everything in Philly. Even John Gotti was scared of him. That's how he was. You know what I mean?
The Scoffer family.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Then as we went on, I'm talking about his name is Doc. He was the second in command when they created the original gangsters. The original gangsters, you know who they from? What area they was from?
No, tell me.
California.
Okay.
They started out in prison. That was a prison gang. So when you see hearing all the young kids down in the Bloods and the Crips and all that, they talking about the OGs. That's who they talking about, the original gangsters. They was the original out of prison.
Oh, so that started in jail.
Yes, sir. That was.
Well, I mean, a lot of
but it wasn't a gang either. Everybody thought that was a gang. What it was organized. Everything. I don't know if y'all know Jonathan Jackson.
Not familiar.
Well, Jonathan Jackson was the police killed him in prison also too. He was a person. They would say Jonathan Jackson with his brother. Okay, they got him for a bank robbery, but George Jackson was in prison. They was always trying to help, get the prison. How should I say? Reform, like trying to get different programs to help the prison and stuff like that. So he got killed. They killed him in prison also too. So the original gangsters was part of that also too, but they was just another part of what George Jackson. A lot of people know about George Jackson once they start reading about it. Okay, so the original gangsters, they was the same thing. They was trying to help the prison, get things that they need to make it better, so when they go home they can learn, a different type of program. So that's what that was. But everybody took it the wrong way. They thought the original gangsters was something bad also too, just like Gangsta Gone legit. Right. You know what I mean? So if you don't know the history, you're gonna think those type of things.
That is bad, exactly. I got you.
So that's how that is.
So you said that you were.
They taught me. Excuse me.
That's all right. So you said you were 140 pounds when you were locked up.
47.
147 pounds. So my question to you would be, I mean, and we're not glorifying anything in our past, of course, because it's something that it's a dark stage that brought us to the light and brought us to where we are today. But it's a part of who we are.
Yes, sir.
So, please excuse the music, guys. There's someone passing by. My question would be, you were 147 pounds, and I'm looking at this. Now, prison has an image and a stereotype of, you being big and swelled up in there. So why did all these guys who were made men, basically, what did they see in you? Like, what made them want to give you the game? Like, what was it about you that made them want to bring you in this circle under their wing? So you can start with anyone you want.
Okay, first of all, when I went to prison, like I said, from the state to the feds, I was the youngest one at my time in prison that was locked up. So, and I was, even though I was wild and active, I had a good mind. So I was like a sponge. So when you talk to me, I would listen. Because if you don't listen, you never learn nothing.
Which is the key right now in today's society. They don't listen.
Yes, sir.
You have to listen.
Yes, sir.
I'm starting to learn that myself, brother. They say we got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we need to listen more. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
I got you. Okay, so I want to. We're gonna save a lot of this because I know there's gonna be a movie coming, there'll be books coming and stuff like that. We don't want to give them too much of your life right now. But what I do want to do is talk about. So, well, before we get into you being legit, let's talk a little bit more about. So you were fighting with police in prison. You were organizing the brothers to create like a
Not
family.
just brothers,
everybody
in the
in
prison.
the prisons.
I had that, like, even it was racist back then also too.
Right.
But I always was cool even with the Ku Klux Klan, with the skinheads, you know what I mean, and all them, you know, the different organizations that they had that was European, Puerto Ricans. I was good with everybody because I never hung with no one.
Right. And let's be clear, you were cool with everybody because you were solid.
Yes,
that was
sir.
number one.
Yes,
you were
sir.
solid. You didn't deal
You
with
can't
none
be
of the
cool
bullshit.
if you're not solid.
That's right.
But like I said, even the snitches, I put them in situations when it's time, because we all won when you're in prison. You know what I mean? But they, you know, they will backstab you, but you still have to do what you have to do, you know, to bring everything together. Because you can't have a piece missing, and the whole thing will be together.
Okay, I understand. So that's why Walpole had to get rid of you, because they seen that you were dangerous in a sense that you could control the environment,
Yes.
which they don't like because they want you to perceive the prison as they run it,
Right.
and you had too much power.
Right.
I get it. Wow. So,
They don't care. You can fight all day long. They don't care nothing about that.
right.
They care about your mind, and that's not just in prison.